What's up?
What's up?
Race car time.
Yeah.
Gonna work on Randy's tonight. Keith is relaxing.
Yep, for sure.
They will LS swap everything. What year is this truck?
81.
81. You figured out?
We got it. Bad intake.
Oh, you think the intake's bad?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. You think it's cracked or got like a leaking gasket?
I think what it was is when I first put this thing in it, I had this big old 350 transmission behind it,
Uh-huh.
and I had to have a vacuum port for the hardware pump. And I drilled a hole in the back of it so I could put a fitting in.
Oh, it's probably leaking around those threads.
So I let the fitting out.
Oh, you can't reach it though?
I can't even find the fitting.
All right, so we're going to work with Randy's tonight, focus on his, try to get it ready for the Carolina No Time race. So we don't have a ton to do to it tonight. It's got to become a car again. So taking the doors back off of mine, going to reinstall them back on his, put his battery back in, and we're also messing with the transmission. I'll show you what's going on with that. Here's Randy's transmission. It is currently out. It's a very nice transmission, ATI. Power Glide, of course. Got a 158 planetary in it. Now Randy's car has a Ford motor, and I don't know if you notice, that does not look like a Ford bell housing. That is a bell housing. It's a one-piece case that has a Chevrolet bell housing. So what they did is when they first put this thing in there, they bought an adapter plate. It's a piece of 1/2-inch aluminum. It goes here, it bolts to the back of the block. And then this bolts to the adapter plate. So ever since we started turning this thing up, we didn't really have any problems with it the first, year and a half when the car wasn't making as much power. But when we started turning it up, about every other pass, the bell housing bolts were loose. And I mean, it was crazy. It was insane. We, thought about it. And we just kept tightening them. And then, I think it's what's happening. Brian suggested it, and I think he's absolutely right, is that 1/2-inch plate, I really think it's vibrating. I think he's right, because the block is down through here. So these are just like little tabs sticking off from the Ford block. So there's not much material there, and it's not very thick, and I think that's, part of the problem. The other thing is, this thing has a solid motor plate on it and a mid plate, and it had a solid transmission mount back here. And so, potentially what's happening is, it's putting everything in a bind and it's vibrating. So we're going to put a polyurethane mount on the transmission back here at the back. So, I know a lot of people, like in dragsters, they don't even run transmission mounts in the back because, supported right off of the mid plate. But we're going to put a polyurethane mount on it, and that way it can at least get there, and hopefully if it is a vibration issue, just from everything being solid, that'll help solve the problem. So that's what we're going to be working on tonight, trying to get that back in. And part of this adapter system, this is the flex plate, and this crank adapter bolted to the back of the crank. We got everything so it was spaced correctly. Keith, what are you doing there?
Taking loose so I can, taking the injector wires loose so I can pull the intake up out of there.
Is that duct tape you're using?
No, masking tape.
Masking tape, and you're labeling
Yeah.
the wires with tape.
Yeah.
Now I know somebody that makes some nice aluminum tags.
I might know that same guy. Yeah.
And they're not, see, this is a perfect example. This is a stock LS harness that he cut up to make it work. And he's got to use tape to mark his wires. Well, this will be the last time he ever uses tape, I promise. All right, the doors are back reattached. These little hinges here, these are Motor City Solutions, and they just bolt to the factory hinge mounts, and they're made out of aluminum. They are bad to the bone. Unbelievably easy to put on and adjust. So those things are awesome. I appreciate Randy letting me borrow his doors. We're getting his back into race mode, and mine is going back into street car mode. All right, so we got this transmission up on the table. I'm gonna snatch this thing apart real fast. Brian's going to put it back together, but check this out. Randy, what we got? Is it like Christmas?
It's like Christmas.
It's like Christmas time over here.
But I've already seen the bill, so it hurt even more.
But you had to pay for it. That just ain't right. So Randy's unboxing all his new transmission stuff, all his case stuff. So it's going from this ATI, like I was saying earlier, and it's going to put JW on it, and that way the bell housing will bolt right to the Ford motor. I mean, since it does have a raggedy Ford motor, and it's a slow Procharger.
I don't even know why I bother. Just hang it up.
It's a turtle, guys. It's a turtle. And you see, this is Brian's. This is the transmission table. It has seen lots of transmission repairs over the years. This is a neat little tool that holds the transmission up. It has a little U assembly that goes around and some adjusters. Works like a champ. He built this one. I think they sell them, but he built this one, I think he said about 20 years ago. So it works like a champ. And you see it's got the new, this one's got the new Sonics servo, which works superb. It's got the nice 158 Sonics planetary. This thing's pretty. Maybe I like it so much because it's the color of my car.
It would fit perfect.
It would. We need a clear case is what we need. So not only is it like Christmas for Randy, so we like to multitask. So I got my rings today in my piston. So these are CP rings, 4.165. CP pistons, like I was saying earlier, they have custom, they call it a CP groove. So they only sell piston rings to fit their pistons. I guess you could get some custom ones from somebody, but I don't know how expensive that would be. So that's the part number on them. And then up here, oh, look at this handy dandy little box. Now that's nice. Now if you look, 4.165 bore, 3.75 stroke, 6-inch rod. So that is not my motor. My motor has a 4.165. I have a 6,200 rod, and then a 3.34 stroke crankshaft. So when you do the math and you get the pin height, that gives this piston, which was, you know, really good when Richard was trying to get everything together. When I got the crankshaft, he's the one that figured it out, pin height on it, and then he told me what to get, and it works good. I mean, I can get these pistons, they're off the shelf. So let's open this thing up. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like I'm doing an unboxing. I feel like I'm at Christmas. Oh, look, man, those are some nice stickers. I might put those on the golf cart. The golf cart needs some stickers. Now this right here is handy dandy. It's got the piston spec sheet, so it's going to tell you all the information on it, and it tells you, I mean, it tells you everything. The forging, the dome height. Ooh, that's a big dome. You see that? Man, the thing's got some compression up in here. So not really a ton. So that's the top ringland volume, pin diameter, pin length. Here goes all the groove widths, the radial widths. the diameters. That's all kind of, I guess if you were getting a custom made set of rings, if I was getting Hellfires or something, I could take them. I'd probably just take a picture of this and send it to them, and then that would, they could make the rings exactly like the piston needs. So that's pretty handy. There's your compression height. The compression height is 1.125 piston weight, so that's very handy. So it tells you, you know, where to measure, what it should measure. So this is pretty cool. So that's good information. I'm gonna save that somewhere. So when you get a piston from CP, what's nice about the Bullet series is they come with pins and with locks and a set of rings. So there's my extra set of rings. So I only had to order 7. Ooh, check that out. Check it out. Oh, that is nice. Wow. That is pretty. Pretty. Here's the pin to come with it. This is a 150 wall pin. Of course, that's not quite thick enough for what we're doing. So I ordered a 200 wall. I think it was like a $13 upgrade for this pin. I mean, it was very cheap. So it was not very expensive at all. And they package it good. Let's see what happens here. Get this thing out so you can see. Wow, check out the difference in those two pins. That's a 150 wall and a 200 wall. I mean, that is significantly bigger, thicker, stronger. All right, so that's my pistons. So we are in good shape, getting everything going back together. So one other thing I got me some new to me connecting rods, GRPs. So that's what I had in the motor. My buddy Scott got me these. They come out of a nitrous motor, so hopefully they will be okay. I mean, I assume they're going to be happy in a turbo car. I mean, nitrous and turbo is a lot different. I'm gonna sit down and have a conversation with them, make sure they're good. He put like 75, 80 passes on them, and he pulled them out. And my car is not gonna be running real hard this time. I gotta turn it down. I can't afford to keep going as fast as I'm going, so I'm gonna slow it down some. But these rods are the 1200 series rods. So they say they're good for all the nitrous you can throw to it and about 2 pounds of boost. I'm just kidding. That's actually not what they say. It's good for heavy nitrous use, and they say moderate boost levels. Now, moderate, I don't know exactly what moderate is. Is moderate 25 or is it 40 pounds? I guess it depends on who you ask. But the rods that I had in the motor, these are the ones that come out of it. These are GRPs as well. But if you notice, they're cut down. They're a little bit lighter. And that's, I mean, there's not much difference. You can see a little bit of difference in the pin. They're a little bit thinner when you put them side by side, but it's only a very small amount. It's not by much at all. So these are going back in. They're about 52 grams lighter each. So we're going to rebalance the motor. Get Richard to do that while he's got everything over there. And then these GRPs are going back in the motor, and hopefully it'll live a long, prosperous, healthy life. You can see a little bit of difference in the beam design, but we'll see what happens. All right, guys, well, we made some good progress on the cars tonight. Got a lot done on Randy's. Transmission is not quite together. We're missing a couple little seals, so he's gonna have to pick those up in the next day or two, and then Brian's gonna finish putting together the transmission, and they're gonna install it one day this week. Mine still got parts and pieces on the way and coming. Got most of it here, so getting closer. So we made some good progress tonight. So all in all, not too bad. All right, I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe if you have not. And I will see you in a few days. Appreciate it. Thanks.